Okay. Let's notify the Discord. Okay. Let's get to work. Today, we are adding the ability to give your little guys special jobs. Giving individual guys a different priority for different types of work. So you can strategize which guys will be builders, which guys will be fighters, which guys will harvest resources. Instead of having all of them just kind of do the same work with a fixed priority. For example, here I really want some of the guys to keep breaking through these walls, but instead they all end up filling up the stockpile, because by default, stockpile work has a higher priority than mining and harvesting resources. So I want to split up this work. And we're going to achieve that with a little menu that should control what priority your little guys will do specific work. By default, it goes attack, build and stockpiles, and destruction. But what if you could drag and drop these items here and change their priorities? So we have the basic menu, but we can't drag and drop things yet. So let's see if we can do that. Hey, Carto. Welcome back. Doing pretty good. How are you? Yeah. We're doing a little bit of UI. What's up, Sly Fox? How's it going? So today we're going to work on distributing the work between the little guys a bit better. Right now you can see that they start destroying the walls, but then they immediately switch jobs to go fill up the stockpile. And I would rather they split up the work so that some of them work on mining and destroying stuff, and the other ones do the stockpile stuff, instead of going back and forth. You're working on some pixel art? Nice. What are you making? EFT Arena. EFT. I have not heard of that. Oh, I love fighting game sprites. Like, those are some of the best out of any game. Like, if you're studying animations, especially like attack animations, fighting games are so good. EFT is an arena shooter. Nice. Thank you, Karto. It's a very simple animation. It's only 2 frames. Most of the work is like rotating sprite. Okay. Just figuring out here how to make a drag and drop menu in Godot. I know there's a way to do it, but I don't think it's documented. Maybe it is. Hmm. Okay. Sorry, just planning what I'm gonna do. Trying to make a drag and drop menu the right way. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Whatever this is. Controls that want to receive drop data should implement can drop data and drop data. Okay. Let's work with what we got here. No method get drag data. Oh, variant. There we go. Okay, let's return to this draggable object. There we go. Okay, and Godot says we have to make another script for container we're dragging and dropping into. Let's do that. Create a new script. And we'll call it priority list, let's say. Okay, and now Godot says we have to override a couple other things. This method. And this one. Okay. Test to see if a control data from a control can be dropped. Okay. Okay, we can drag and drop this item if it's draggable. And then what does this do? Godot calls this method to pass you the data. Okay. I suppose it just does stuff with the thing we dropped. Okay. This isn't that complicated. Let's add some debug print statements. Okay, does it let me drag and drop? Oh, it kind of does. Oh, that's so interesting. It's not letting me do it, but it's giving me an icon. Okay, we're halfway there, I think. What else does Godot have to say? A preview that will follow the mouse that should represent the data can be set with set drag preview. Okay, I like that. Set drag preview. control must not be in the scene tree. You should not free the control, and you should not keep a reference. Here, let me stream the Godot docs. Okay. Control must not be in the scene tree. You should not free the control, and you should not keep a reference to the control beyond the duration of the drag. It will be deleted automatically after the drag has ended. What do they do here? They just create a new node on the fly. Okay. Sure, we can do something like that. We'll create a preview. With the same texture, same size as the icon that we're dragging. Okay. See if that changes anything. Okay, interesting. So we got the drag preview, dragging the sword around. I like that. Don't know why the mouse cursor changes. Now it's not printing anything when we drag it into the list. Maybe we're missing a step. Should print something here. Let's print something here too. This is when we check if we're allowed to drop something into the list. We'll see what Godot says. Anything? No. Oh, yes. We got some. Okay, I think I know what happened here. I cast the data to a node, which is the wrong type. It should be a control. I think that makes a difference. Yeah, okay. Okay, we drag and drop the sword. Okay. Oh, I didn't even set the group. So I want all of my draggable icons to be in the same group. Nice, okay. Let's go ahead and add the draggable script. To each of the other icons. All right, one more attempt. There it is. Okay. I'm looking at my console, and it is saying that it's detecting when we drop an icon. Now we have to make it update the list with the new work priority. That's going to be a little tricky. Because we need to know the position of all the other icons in the list. I suppose if I just do get children. The order of the children is the order they appear in the list. So I wonder if I'm able to get the position of a UI node relative to its parent. Let's see. Let's see if that's the proper way to do it. Transform, position, layout, transform, position. Okay, yeah. And it has a size too. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Every child has a... Oh, I have to cast it. Every child has a position and a size. So if we are dropping our icon after that position, then we are going to rearrange the job priority. And it's like, oh, yeah. Right, I only care about the Y position, not the X position. And then, yeah, just the Y position. Okay, and then we're going to insert this icon at that position. So I need to know the current index. Okay, sweet. So I think I can set, I don't think I can just insert children into the tree. I can get a child at a given index. I'm sure there's a Godot method for this. Let's see. Godot, insert child at position. Okay, that's not a solution. Oh, I see. At index, not physical location. Oh good, there's a Godot. Someone made an issue for this. How do they not have support for this? Especially because it seems very useful for UI. God, it's impossible to open the docs. Or to search for the docs on Google. Although this browser is using Bing. Okay, anything here about inserting a child at a specific index? Ooh. We got some. You need the child node to be added below a specific node in the list. Use add sibling. That's awesome. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Adds a sibling node to the current node's parent at the same level right below it. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. So we don't even care what the index is. We can just look at its sibling and add the icon right below it. We don't need any of this index stuff. Nice. Now, the only other case is if we insert it at the bottom of the list, or the top of the list. I suppose we could do an early return here. And, okay, how are we going to add something at the beginning of the list? Because the add sibling method doesn't help us in this case. Add a node as first child? Move child? There's no way. Oh my god. The method was here the whole time. Moves the child node to a different index among other children. yeah, changing the order of children may be useful. That's very nice. Okay, Control Z. Control Z. Great. So we're going to say move child. Node to the index. And by default it's 0, which is good. Yeah, okay. Let's try it out. Anything? Oh, it kind of worked. It kind of worked. Not really. Okay. I suppose we'll do some debugging. Okay, cool. So we got a node, and it says we dragged and dropped at x11, y70. Cool. Okay. Guess we'll step through. Oh, I know what the bug is. We're looping in the wrong direction. We're trying to find the first node that we have passed in the y direction. Or I guess technically the last node that we've surpassed. Which means we have to loop backwards, otherwise it's going to put everything at the top of the list. So let's start from the end. I'm going to do -2 because there's an extra UI element I don't want to move. I is greater than or equal to, let's say 1. No, we want to do 0, I think. Okay, and then we're going to get the index of the current child. And if we didn't end up passing any of the nodes in the list, then it's going to use 0 as the top of the list. Otherwise, it will always choose the index ahead of first node we find. Starting from the bottom. Okay. Nice. Okay. Working better. I think the Y positions might not be calculated correctly. You know, I kind of want it to just immediately update. Or like immediately move all of the other items in the list. So you can actually see where it's going to go. Let's make sure the Y position stuff is working correctly. Okay, I'm gonna put my mouse here. That should be wherever it is on the panel. Okay, and it says it's at position 71. Do I believe that? Free icon is 32 pixels. And they are separated by 8 pixels. And I'm dragging and dropping specifically onto the HBox container, which is a pretty narrow range. Gonna go 32 pixels, 8 pixels, and then 32 again. Okay, yeah, 71 makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so it gets all the children. Okay, and then it gets this control node, which is it thinks it's the separator. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Which is located at 120. Cool, so we're not gonna... Oh no. I see what we've done here. We don't need this variable anymore. We just use the index in the for loop. Yep. Yeah, it's a little bit cleaner. Although it's a little too... It's like slightly off. It's moving the hammer all the way down to the bottom. When it should just be above the destruction icon. Math might be off. Okay, let's debug it one more time. And let's try to drop it right here at about 70. Y equals 70. 72. Okay. Step through. First one is a separator, skip that. Okay. Next node is the guess it doesn't say. The next node is at y equals 80. And I'm asking if our current y position, which is 72, is greater than 80 plus 16 or something. Okay. And then the next node is at y position 40. Okay, so it's totally gonna insert this position. And it says insert at index 2. That is incorrect. Yeah, I see. I think I see what's happening here. It's because we're moving the child, all of the indexes get shifted. So I'm actually one off. Yeah, I think that's what was happening. It was shifting everything in the list back, and then I was one index too far ahead. So now, oh, beautiful. Okay, yeah, this is the expected behavior. It's ugly for now, but we just gotta make sure it works. Hang on a second. Okay, that's always working. What about you? That's always working. Now what if I move you over here? Or you over here? Okay, that works. What about, okay, if I move this one backwards, can I do that? That's a bit more sussy. So it seems like there's a problem. There's a difference between moving an item forward in the list and moving it backward in the list. Yeah. Okay, so we gotta do a little bit more magic, and I think the easiest thing is going to be literally just removing this node at the start. But I don't think that'll make sense since the method is called moveChild. So I think it just behaves different, depending on whether you're moving it backwards or forwards in the list. I guess I gotta find its current index. Good thing that's a method. And then say if the current index is larger than wherever we're trying to move it, I guess we just gotta increment our target index here. So if we move it backwards, then yeah, there we go. Oh no. We gotta change the default index to -1 then. Everything else is working. Thank goodness. Step by step. We're making drag and drop simulator. There we go. Okay, finally. It's actually doing what it's supposed to. For the most part. I'm gonna get rid of this thing. Okay, so what's next? Let's make it a little bit easier to use. One is that the range where we can actually interact with this thing is super tiny. So I want it to be responsive within the entire container like this, not just this tiny rectangle. I'm gonna move my script here. Okay. And then we're just gonna get the container, the vertical container here. there we go. Okay, so now we're going to be modifying the container's children. And now the positions are going to be a little bit out of sync. So I'm going to use... I need to convert everything to global coordinates. So I think I can just take the global position of the surrounding container and just add the position from the event. I think that'll work. Okay, fix all the compiler problems. Okay. Will it still work? Yeah, actually. Wow. Nice. Okay, I want to add some labels on the left. So I'm going to do that by adding an HBox container, a horizontal container. I think just right here. Yeah. You know, that's not actually necessary. No, it is. Jobs on the right and labels on the left. Then I'll just add a bunch of labels. And then we need to space these out. Oh, can I literally just set the size? Oh, that's perfect. There we go, 32 pixels tall, and then separate each of them by, what, 8 pixels? Okay, cool. And then vertical alignment center. Beautiful. Great, so now you know the order in which your little guys will do things. Now I want to be careful and make sure that the labels only appear if your little guys are actually doing something at all. For example, I'm using this horizontal bar to represent things you don't want to do. If I move everything down, oh, it doesn't even like it. Doesn't like what I did. Oh yeah, because it's not a direct child anymore. Let's give this a unique name. Access as unique name. Then in the code, access jobs, like that. Okay. Let's run it. See how the labels work. Right, so they're working. Tells you the number in the list, but if I move something down here, labels get all screwed up. So I just want to remove the ones that aren't being used, I suppose. So we can just do a check here. To update the label visibility. And let's just call this labels. Oh, I've already called it labels. Let's make it a unique name. Okay. Right, so we're going to get the node called labels. It's going to be a it doesn't really matter what the type of it is. And we just need to loop through the jobs. From top to bottom. And we're going to set each label at this index. To invisible. Right. I guess we have to cast the child. There we go. So we're going to set everything to be, well, I guess visible by default, but once we see a going to rename this to jobs. So if we get the job at this index, and it ends up being this horizontal divider, which I'm going to give it a name as well. Make it unique. Then we're going to start setting all the labels to invisible. So default, set the labels to visible. Once we see the separator, don't show the label anymore. And that's that. Let's just call this method update labels, and I'm going to rename this variable something more clear. Jobs. Okay. Just going for very functional UI. Nothing pretty. Gotta make sure it works first. Okay. Still showing the labels. We're almost there. But we're one off. And I believe the reason is that once we see the separator, it's too late. Let's do it like that. Check for the separator first, then set the visibility of the label. Okay. Very nice, very good. Cool. I need to add some more space at the bottom. And in this case, there are no labels. It's interesting. They're all invisible. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you really want your little guys to do nothing. The options there, I guess. Okay, let's add some space at the top and bottom. Go to jobs, or rather the priority list. I'm gonna change the margin on top and bottom. Add a bunch more pixels. Maybe on the right as well. You know what, screw it, on the left. Just everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so I know I'm not gonna spend time making the UI pretty. Like, I'm not gonna mess with the colors or the animations or any of that, although I might do a little bit of that. It's kind of hard to tell where you're going to drop the icon. It's pretty difficult to know. And it would be nice if the list just automatically showed you which index your icon was going to be dropped. Because if I hold my mouse right here, I don't really know. I can imagine one way we can do that. You know what? I just realized it replaces itself. In the list. Like if I just hold my mouse in place and release, it's gonna slide it over one. Okay. One last weird index fix. Suppose I should check if this control we find, if this node we find is the current node. Just do something hacky. Like that. But that might not work. No, I think it'll work. Just working with what I got. Working with what the Godot library has for me. Okay, nice. Now it's fully functional. Oh, but does it not let me... Oh, I have to remove that. Here we go. Now it's fully functional. Right. Now it's working. Anyway, it would be nice if we could preview where it's going to be dropped. The way Godot does it in their editor, their scene tree editor, they put a line in the place where the item's going to be dropped. Which is nice and all, but it makes sense when you're working with a scene tree. But I'm just working with a flat list. Let's try to preview what the list is going to look like before you actually let go of the mouse. Which means that all of this code we run in this method actually needs to happen earlier, when we're still hovering. One thing I can actually do is, if we end up dropping our node onto the same node. And at the same location it was already at, then we actually don't have to do anything. And we can stop the method right there. So let's put this into a method. Change priority. And let's do this. If the item we're trying to drag and drop isn't allowed to be dropped here, we return false. Otherwise, we just immediately update the list as we're dragging. And I suppose this would be called every time the mouse moves. But it won't be that slow, just because we only actually move the children if we need to. We're not going to do any unnecessary shuffling of the children. The only thing I want to do to improve the efficiency a little bit is to cache this node here. Probably not that necessary at all because we're using a unique name, but just for the peace of mind. Say node jobs is equal to get node jobs. So I don't actually think we're buying much time or processing power by caching it like this, but we may as well. And we should probably do the same for the labels in the separator. But that's only going to get executed if we actually need to reorder the list. So it doesn't matter. I think that should look all right. Oh, perfect. Yeah. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. That's so nice. Sweet. I'm going to put a little bit of horizontal spacing between the labels. There we go. Make it look a little bit less crowded. Okay, so we just spent about an hour doing UI stuff. But I think we can call the UI stuff done. And we can start implementing the actual behavior of changing the little guy's work priority. So let's think about how we're going to do this. When we select a bunch of guys, I suppose we want the menu to pop up, so let's add an event to our event bus. We're going to call it open job priority menu. Simple as that. Event handler. And then, yeah, I guess we just need to add a script for this menu. Yeah, sure. Now, I could add the script. Thinking about whether I should add the script to some, like, user interface parent that can handle multiple menus that appear on and off, but I guess we'll think about that when we have more menus. Let's create a new script. Yeah, job priority container. Perfect. Okay. Now we just have to listen to the event. Okay. So we listen to the event for opening, and then we open up the menu. Let's say show to show the menu. And by default, just make sure it's hidden. So I'm wondering is, should the menu know who the little guys are that you've clicked? Then I would have to store that in a field. Call it guys or something. And then I need some kind of event that listens to when we change the job priority. I might have a method for that, like change priority. In which case, I'd probably loop through the guys. Let's plan this out here. Change priority, and then as input I would need some kind of object to represent priority. right? So then I would need an object specifically for that. And then just apply it to each guy. So I think the logic here is going to be pretty minimal. Yeah. So what I can do is as a parameter, whenever we open this menu, we're going to supply the list of little guys. And it will be null by default. And we initialize it here. So I should specify that in the signal. Edit once an array of little guys. Make sure it uses Godot's collections. Nice. And then the little guys need to have a notion of what it means to have a priority. We also got to make sure that the list of guys is not empty. And just do an assert here. That just makes sure that the guys array was initialized when we opened up the menu. Okay. And so right now the guys don't know what it means to have a priority. Oh. And another thing, I need to have a submit button in this menu. Because if you change your mind, I don't want you to accidentally change the way a bunch of your guys behave. So I need some kind of submit, yes or no, cancel buttons at the bottom or something. Oh my god. Alright, Bing is horrible. Why is it like this? Now the question is, do you put confirm on the left and cancel on the right, or confirm on the right, cancel on the left? My brain really wants to put confirm on the left. The convention has been to place the confirmation button on the right side, following the natural reading and scanning patterns. I should probably just look at how other games do it. But sure, we'll do it on the right side for now. Okay, so this means that at the bottom of this panel, we're going to have Couple buttons. So I suppose we need a vertical container. These things are beautiful. They make like UI so easy. Okay, and then I suppose an HBox container. Within that, I'll just call it confirmation. And then we're gonna add 2 buttons here. Just a regular button. Or I guess it's gonna have an icon, so let's make some icons. Beautiful. Save this. Call it confirm. Get another one. This is cursed. The red check mark. Also, let's not use complete white. So I already have a button that looks like that. Or I already have an icon that looks like that. Anyway, I'm gonna call this cancel. Okay. This is the right color, right? Yeah. Okay, so yes, 2 buttons here. And let's make them texture buttons. And make this one on the left the cancel button. Yeah, the normal texture. Normal texture. Okay. Now we need a little bit of separation between the elements here. Kind of a lot of separation. Okay, which means that the overall margins shrink that a little bit. So right now it's not clear that you can actually move an icon below that line. Oh, hang on. Gotta make sure the UI pops up. Yeah, so I suppose we will... We already emit the event, don't we? Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. World events, emit signal. It's called open job priority menu. The mouthful. And we're gonna pass in the list of guys. Let's build this list. Yeah. And then if we ended up getting any guys at all, we are going to open up that menu. Okay. Yeah, so we open the menu, we get our guys. Okay. So now I don't want to change the guy's behavior when you're still playing around in the menu. I only want it to change when you submit with the confirmation button. So we're going to change this to submit priority. And then I suppose we're going to have some kind of signal on the confirmation button. Yeah, so for these two buttons here, let's just rename these to cancel and confirm. Give them unique names. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have to connect a few signals here. For the cancel button. Yeah, when the button's pressed, then we want to hide this menu. And reset the guys. I think that's all we need to do there. We also need to somehow unselect whatever guys we've selected. So we're gonna have to deal with that at some point. But for now, we'll just close the menu. Now when we actually confirm, I have to submit the priority somehow. So we need to grab the actual priority from the priority list. So let's add a public method here. It's gonna look something like this. It's gonna return this job priority object that I haven't created yet, so let's create it now. Where should we put that? I'll just put it here. We need some kind of like understanding of like how to order the types of work that is available. I think we can go simple here. Let me actually create a new folder for this. So all that really matters here is we need an ordered list. So let's make this a struct. That represents the types of jobs we want to handle and in the order we want to handle them. So what kind of jobs do we have? We have a fighting job, we have a building job, and we have a destroy job. This might be combined with like harvesting resources from a mining spot or something, although I'm gonna keep it like this for now. So destroying just means literally destroying buildings or walls. Building for now just means building blueprints and gathering resources for stockpiles. And fighting just means targeting nearby enemies. And then in the future, I might need something like healing to go heal yourself. When your health is low or something. But we'll keep it like that for now. And yeah, nothing complicated here. Okay. So now we actually know what a job priority is. We can import it. And then in the priority list, we can actually generate it. And so we'll make a list of priority types. Okay. And I suppose we just need to kind of do what we're doing here, where we loop through every element in the list. Oh, we already have something called jobs. And then just check if we've reached the separator. And if we have, then we can break from the loop. And then we need some kind of mapping between these icons. And the actual type in the code. There's like a million different ways we can do this. I could make a new script. specifically for these icons. Yeah. You could. Or I could like put it in a group, or I could literally just check for the value of their name. Let's just make a subclass. Oh wait, but the question is, can I export an enum type? Let's double check. Just really quickly, new job priority. Ignore that for now. Rebuild. Okay, so in each of these... Oh wow, it actually supports enums. Dude, Godot's awesome. That's amazing. I love that. What should we call this? Draggable job, I guess. Or job draggable. Okay, the only thing here is that it contains a little bit of data for the job type. So all we need to do is go to each of these icons and then change their script. Okay. Then rebuild. Oh, please don't crash. It almost crashed. Okay. Fighting. Guess I'll rename this to fight. Build. And destroy. Cool. Great, so now in the job, in the priority list, we just need to get the actual job type. So we cast it to a draggable job. And that might be null. If it's any other kind of thing. I mean, I guess I could just do a debug assertion here. So we just add the draggable job dot job priority type. Yeah, job priority type. Cool. So now in the container managing everything, when we click confirm, we need to get that list of types. So I should just be able to get the priority list. As long as I give it a unique name, very useful for UI coding. Get node priority list, and then cast it to priority list. Dot get something. Get job priority. And that's what we submit. Okay. Do submit priority. And then for each little guy, we're going to set their job priority. Okay. We've done all this UI stuff just to set up the ability for the player to change work priority. And the menu is open by default. Why is it open? Something happened here. Couldn't find the node cancel. Oh, that's interesting. I have it down here. It is a button. And it says cannot cast texture button to button. Really? Oh, wow. Okay, they're two different branches. A texture button is apparently not a button. Interesting. Okay. Let's plant a bunch of guys. Cool. Menu shows up. Cancel it. Good. I like that. Do all this, move the priority around. Now I just need something to happen when we click yes. Part of that should be hiding, resetting the menu. Make a method for that. Okay, so now here's the meat. Here's protein. Right now, guys, just choose their goals. Loosely, well, not loosely, strictly, in the order it's defined. I've just hard-coded their job priorities. Their first priority is fighting, then they build, then they load stockpiles, and then they destroy objects. But I want that to be really configurable on the fly. This is gonna take some design. Okay, well, let's do some planning here. Let's just assume that we have a priority list here. So what do I want to do with this? I would imagine my code would change to something like this. Look through each job and then really just do a switch statement on the job. Do something like this. Now the question is, what do I put in here? I mean, we have a list of goals. Literally just have a list of goals. do something very rough here, just to figure out how we want to go about this. Super rough. We have 4 main goals here. Building, stockpiling, attacking, and destroying. Don't worry, I'll clean this up in a second. Okay. So in this case, I would say if the job is to fight, do this. Yeah, not really writing this to be run. I'm more so writing this to think about what I want to do. This is more like pseudocode right now. I think already this is an appropriate way to go about it. And ignore this. The only issue here is that not every agent will know what it means to build things, right? Like I might have an enemy that doesn't care about building at all. So it doesn't really make sense to handle their priorities in this way. So I'm thinking a better design would separate the priority logic from the actual. What I have here is like this agent class. We're AI agents. And all it does is it keeps track of a list of goals, like very concrete goals, like attacking an enemy once or adding 1 item to a stockpile. I think I want the priority logic to be plug and play. So most enemies will have probably just 1 set job priority. walk around, break down your defenses, and fight your little guys. But your little guys, your priorities might be all over the place. So we could consider some kind of handler here. Some kind of subsystem. Priority system. Where all it does is it's aware of the things this agent is able to do, whether it's building, attacking, or anything a little guy can do, anything an enemy can do. So it's aware of the goals we have available to us. But the plug and play part is that this class I'm in right now isn't going to handle any of that logic. It's just gonna ask the priority system, hey, please choose a goal for me. And that'll be that. I think that's a decent way to go about it. That way I can take all of this, move it to its own class that's specific. Little guys, and then enemies who don't need this complicated priority system can just use some default priority order that never changes. Yeah. Okay, well that's my plan for that. That'll take a little more design and coding, which I'll do off stream. But in the meantime, we got some UI complete. We did some UI work. So happy about that. Need to make sure that the controls work. You're able to select your guys. It opens up a menu asking you to set their priorities. You do so, maybe you change your mind and you cancel, or you decide that you know what you want to assign these guys to do. You click yes, and then it will eventually make that assignment. That's the last bit of work I need to do. I'm just really happy that the UI is complete. Ooh. I just realized that it doesn't reset the menu. Here, let's fix that. And then I'm gonna do all this coding and logic off stream. But for the rest of today's stream, I think I'll just fix this one bug and then do a little bit of drawing. But yeah, this is pretty nice. UI is complete. and it's simple. If it ends up not working, then, you know, we'll playtest, see what we need to change, and we'll move forward. It's as simple as that. Okay. So the bug is the priority list doesn't get reset every time it's opened. So I need a way to restore its original order. That is an interesting one. So we'll do it like this. Make a method called reset. I can create like a default job priority. That's like yeah, fight, build, and destroy. Okay, I'm skeptical about adding a static field to a struct. I think this will be okay. Just because structs are stored in memory, I think we'll be good. I think C# is smart enough to know that this will be a global variable. So I'll call it default. Okay. So we can get the job priority.default. Oh, that's a keyword. Well, using this thing, I basically want to I think I want to loop backwards through the list. And then so let's get the current job type. And then find one of our children. And this is a, what is this? A Godot array. I should just be able to search. For the child with that type. Really, is there no find method? I think it's called first or something. And then just cast it to a draggable job. Or, well, this is going to get slightly more complicated. The job is not null. I mean, at this point, we may as well do a for loop. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're getting the draggable job object that has this type, and we're moving it to the front of the list. So we're going to say move child job jobs.move child, right? Yeah, jobs.move child to the very first position in the list. So we're basically doing insertion sort here, but it's with 3 items, so it's just fine. Oh, and I think that's it, actually. Well, okay, let's call this method in the container. So whenever we close the menu, we reset the priority order back to the default, so that when we open the menu, it's just the default order. Let's see. Dang, we kind of wrote a lot of code today. Okay, a bunch of guys. Move this stuff around. Cancel. Ooh, so close. So it works, but good thing we made this a method. We have to call the update labels after we reset the job order. Always split your code into methods. It will come in handy. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna have to stop the music, unfortunately. Okay, close the menu. Open the menu. There it is. Cool. Great, menu stuff is done. Well, menu functionality is there. Last thing I really need to do is just code a proper priority mechanic. It actually won't be that complicated, but it just requires some nice decoupled object-oriented programming and composition, all of that, which I can do off stream. So I say for the last 20 or so minutes, let's draw some stuff. One thing in particular is I have all of these, like, I drew some default icons for each of the job types, but I'm not a fan of how they look. They're just placeholders, so let's make something that looks a lot more pretty. As opposed to this crappy hammer, an explosion, and weird looking sword. We'll make it fit the vibe a bit more. Okay, so basically delete that entirely. I guess I'll give it a blue color. Let me think here. I want the buttons to be visible, so the question is, do I have a darker tone for the icon and then a lighter tone for the surface of the button? Or do I have a light icon and a darker button color? Or I can do what I did here and I just give an outline to all of these icons. I think giving them an outline makes a lot of sense. It'll make them a bit more visible. So let's just start by drawing something that looks nice. Okay, let's do this and then draw a very simplified hammer that actually matches the style of the game. And it's gotta look like a hammer that you can build stuff with. This looks more like a gavel, which is not, I don't think conveys the idea of building. This is a little bit better, but that looks more like a warhammer. It also looks like an axe. Still looks like a gavel. Okay, we're getting closer. Let's just remind ourselves what hammers look like. Yeah, they all pretty much look like this. I could make it look like a mallet. As long as it doesn't look like a gavel. There's really like 3 different words for hammer. Mallet, gavel, hammer. Probably a few more. Okay. I like the big chunky ones. Oh, and like a forging hammer. So let's see. Like if we had something more like this. I don't think that conveys building, unfortunately. If we had the whole thing connected like this, that actually does convey building to me. It's not totally obvious that it's a hammer though. I mean, I don't know what else it would be. Try to make it look a little more mallet-like. So I could try making the handle bigger. That is pretty chunky. I mean, we can save it and see what it looks like. Might be a bit too chunky. It doesn't look bad. Fits the style way better than it did before. Okay. For destruction, still want to go for the same kind of like an explosion kind of look. Here, let's add a separate layer. Come on. There you go. Doesn't totally convey an explosion yet. No, that does not look like an explosion. Let's be a little bit more random. Yeah, honestly, that's way better. Simple, kind of dumb, but it'll do the job. Now, if I put that in the game, yeah, that that conveys destruction. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, my like rectangular marquee here is green for building. So do I want green to be like the building color is the question. Kind of love this blue. It's very, very calm. The other question is, do I want these icons to have outlines? I think that might be good. Let me add a new layer here. Then erase this. Nice. Okay, so we can add a outline. Like this color. Completely black. And then what is it? Control O or something? No, not that. Shift O. Yeah. Shift O. Destroy. Shift O. Yeah, we'll just add that for now. It might look better without it, to be honest. Take this color and then do that. Okay, not there yet. Export this. It's okay. What's up, Nate Dog? I'm just working on some new mechanics in my game about building castles and fighting monsters. It's like Pikmin with base building. Yeah, making my own game. I've done it before, I can do it again. It's a lot of work though, but still really fun. Very, very fun. Here, let me show you what we have so far. Got little dudes. They get to work. And they build stuff. And they will fight. And get back to work. This is where we're at. Now just trying to add a few more mechanics. Give players control over the little guys. Still in progress. Thank you. What's the objective endgame? The objective is to defend your base from waves of enemies. So it's one of those games. Just keep making your base more fortified, keep upgrading your little guys. New enemies come in. They get stronger, and so do you. You get stronger, enemies get stronger, and you just survive as long as you can, really. Still in the early stages, of course. But all the basics are there. We've got building, we've got fighting. Am I building it from scratch? No, not completely from scratch. I'm using this game engine here called Godot, Godot. It's great for 2D games. I love it. It has an editor, so I can edit things visually here. But of course, you know, gotta stitch things together with a lot of code, but I like coding. The only game you made was a simple Moonlander game in C++. Wait, that's awesome. Dude, coding in C++ is hard. Coding games in C++. That must have been really tough. But that sounds like a really cool experience. Here we go. Just making slight adjustments to the UI. Trying not to spend too much time tweaking the UI and stuff, but still gotta make it usable. Okay. One really quick thing we could do on stream is add hotkeys for each of these main actions here. So I don't have to click them manually. Let's do that. I think this should be easy to do. Yeah, shortcuts. New input event. shortcut, I suppose. Okay, we have to define a couple actions here. What do we say? I think 1, 2, and 3 are good shortcuts. I think those are the most logical. Could do QWE, but that can be changed. So I'm going to make a hotkey for selecting guys, a hotkey for building, and a hotkey for destroying. Just 1 second here, just setting that up. When we press 1, 2, and 3, okay, back to here. I guess I want to call this, yeah, select hotkey. Let's see if that works. It does not. One more time. No, okay. Did I not configure it correctly? What's up, Arzula? How's it going? We are adding a new mechanic today. Add a new shortcut. Input event. Action. Build hotkey. Glad to hear you're going good. So, right now we have like basic building and destroying and fighting. All the main mechanics are there, but we don't have a way to control like job priority that other games tend to have. For example, if I create a bunch of tiles here to be destroyed, the building job always takes precedence over the destruction job. And so unfortunately, you get the little guys walking back and forth between destroying and building, and I would prefer it if half of them to go build stuff and the other half kept working on the destruction. So the mechanic. My idea that I want to test is selecting guys and then sort of choosing their job priorities with a little menu here with like these drag and drop jobs here. I just have the menu. It's not functional yet, but we'll get there. Yep. Giving the player some control is the idea. Yeah, exactly, Nate Dogg. Because right now, if there's stuff to build, all of them go build, which isn't great if you want some of them to, go harvest resources or other ones to go fight. Yeah. The plan is get this working and then add a basic wave system for the enemies. And then I'm gonna do a round of playtesting. Just to see, do all of the basic mechanics make sense? Probably gonna have to fix a lot of things or make things a bit more clear or usable. Clean some stuff up. Then after that, start adding new enemies, adding new buildings. Gonna be good. Pretty excited. These hotkeys are not working. I wonder why not. How would they not respond to the hotkeys? Let's see. Let's see what Godot has to say. Okay. Try something here. Adding shortcuts here, or hotkeys. Mainly for me, but it'll also be nice because I know players like hotkeys. That was one point of feedback during the last playtesting session. Still not working. Oh, weird. It added a tooltip. It tells you what the hotkeys are, but it's not responding to them. Very unusual. Very, very unusual. Let me try something here. Nope. Why? Why, Godot? Why? I just want to do this one last thing. And then probably call it for the night. It's been 3 hours. Okay, let's do the classic. Godot button shortcut doesn't work. Google.com. Well, you know what? Maybe the buttons are getting pressed, but it's just not showing it visually. That could totally be happening. Let's see. Oh my god. They were working the whole time. The shortcuts work. But the buttons don't change. God damn it. God damn it. I've been doing this for too long. I need to just call it after midnight. Arzula, what engine do you use? Oh, nice, Game Maker. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Dang, using it for 5 years. Yeah, I know it's been around for a while. Actually, until I saw that people were making some like pretty big and cool looking games with it, like I didn't know like you could do that. I didn't know you could make like serious games in it. Hello, AJ08Coder in the YouTube chat. Here, I'll show you what we're making. Start this up here. We are making a colony simulator. All you do is build castles and fight monsters. I like to think of it as Pikmin with base building. These are your little guys. And you can tell them to do stuff, like destroy these walls, and they get to work. And then make them go build stuff. And they start building. Maybe an enemy comes in, tries to mess with them, and they start fighting. Now the objective is to build your base, build your castle, and defend it for as long as you can. Thank you. Thank you. Still in the early phases, but we've got most of the major mechanics there. Building and fighting. Main thing I'm working on right now is assigning different work to different guys. Because right now they all kind of go do the same thing. I want to split up the work so that some of them can go destroy stuff and other ones go build. But yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, let me just save some of this work here. Da-da. Okay, let's knock out a couple more things before we finish the stream. What did I have in mind? Okay, now that we have hotkeys, we've introduced a bug. If I start drawing a region for building, and then I press a hotkey in the middle of drawing this rectangular marquee, get stuck there. And then I can start drawing another rectangular region on top of it, and then I press a hotkey, and it gets stuck there. And then I can start drawing another region here. Press another hotkey. It stays there. So hotkeys have made life easier, but they have introduced a bug. So maybe I'll fix that and then call it there. Where do we start? Let's close all this crap. And then, see, this would be in the controller. I think I have an idea. So whenever we change the tool or the current mode that the player is in, whether it's build mode, destroy mode, we need to make sure we reset all of our selection tools. We do that here. Let's just go through every tool. And forcefully reset them. Oh, but I want to be careful. So we've half fixed the problem with that code change. We've partially fixed it. But there's still one more problem. This is a build region. Press a hotkey. Well, it gets rid of the rectangular graphic, but it instantly builds everything. Like, it doesn't cancel, it just forces me to actually build when I try to change the tool. Don't want that to happen. I want it to get rid of the graphic and to cancel the action, not to force myself to build. If that makes any sense. Probably did not explain that completely. But instead of forcing you to use the tool, I want you to actually reset the tool entirely. I'm gonna have to add a new method. How's that gonna work? Okay. We're going to create a new method, call it reset, and instead of actually using the tool, we're just going to hide the tool. Because we've pressed a hotkey and we've switched to a different tool. Actually, I don't even need that. I can just do that. Have I ever made a commercial game? Technically, I've made a free game and I've sold licenses for that game. So it was a browser game called Frog Corral, and it was just a simple puzzle game about frogs, kind of like a cozy puzzle game. And it's a free game, but to host it on certain websites, some websites will buy the rights to host your game. So, in a way, yes. But have I released something to Steam? Not yet. So, I'm working on the Steam page for this game. And once I've ironed a few more things out, I'll have a Steam page publicly available where people can wishlist, and I'll probably post a demo there so that people can get an idea of what the game is like. Okay, we fixed that bug. Thank goodness. You're playing it. Cool, thank you for playing it. Okay. Let's do a couple more things here. Trying to knock out all the easy stuff on stream. Okay. Make an icon here for fighting. that really doesn't look like a sword. Well, it kind of does. Kind of looks like a sword. What? Oh, yeah. Okay. How are we going to do this? Something like this. Why does that look so funky? Okay, that is a good enough sword icon. Debating whether I should add these outlines. Oops. Not there. Oh, these are different colors. Wait, what? That's crazy. Oh my god. Always on the wrong layer. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Okay. Add an outline. That is perfectly acceptable. That is a acceptable sword. Change these labels. Okay. Select some guys. Opens up this menu. Choose their jobs and the job priority. I'm really hoping this ends up being intuitive, but we won't know until we playtest it. Let me adjust one thing. So this is a UI element here. I want it to fill the width of its container. Fill the width of its container. Not like that. Not exactly like that, no. I think there's a different way to go about this in the HBox container. Don't stretch the buttons. Oh, wait, wow. UI is weird. I want that stuff to be centered. Not like that. Feel like not centered. Why? See, this is the kind of UI tweaking that is not necessary at all. But sometimes you get addicted to minor tweaks. Just the nature of things. I think we did a good job today. Probably want to close it here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's end the stream. Thank you, folks, for joining and chatting. Appreciate it. Love streaming. Love seeing what you guys are up to. So I'm very tired. Been doing this for 3.5 hours, and it's past midnight. Thank you, AJ08 Coder. Thanks for stopping by, seriously. We are going to pick up tomorrow. Might do some streaming tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Thanks again.